The Cambridge Hospital is a small community hospital located in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It is one of 3 local hospitals that make up the Cambridge Health Alliance. The Cambridge Hospital houses outpatient offices, a general medical emergency room, a psychiatric emergency room, several general medical inpatient units, and 3 inpatient psychiatric units, 1 for children, 1 for adolescents, and 1 for adults. As a psychiatry resident, I spend most of my time at the Cambridge Hospital in the adult inpatient psychiatric unit, so I spent a lot of time thinking about the environment there. Psychiatric hospitalization, even in good hospitals, is often described by people as a very difficult experience. There is a loss of control and privacy. The physical space is often impersonal and bleak and very disconnected from both the person's usual environment and the natural world. At the Cambridge Hospital early this year, an attempt was made to make the inpatient psychiatric units more healing environments by creating an outdoor space for people to use while hospitalized.
Many years ago, we would take patients out and be able to bring them out for walks, and that changed over 5 years ago, and it was really a great disappointment for the patients. And often people would ask us if they could go out because they felt so trapped on the unit. And so, after a few years, and with the help of the adolescent unit, we were able to have this space that we're sitting in now.
Do you know who designed this space?
I think our architect, the Cambridge architect, did. So I think he looked around for a space, found this, and then they made it a safe place for us to be.
Mm-hmm. What's been done to make it safe?
They did put a fence up around the area because so that to help people not leave. Really, they repainted the benches. There is a code purple button, which is the button that if we need the safety officers, we can press. One of those is installed here, and if there were some kind of an emergency, we would press the button, and the safety officers would be aware of it, and they would come down to help us.
And it seems like it might be a difficult balance creating a place that's really safe, but also something that's attractive and enjoyable.
It is, and we're still working on the attractive part because it's kind of bare bones right now. And we might even start a garden group for the patients just for a little while to help us plant things and things like that. And I think that would be actually fun.
Another thing I was wondering about, is anyone worried about their privacy being over here right by the street?
We've actually been trying to consider that and what to do, and we did feel that we could put up big black canvas things, and that just felt like it wouldn't be so conducive to feeling relaxed and taken care of. So we won't do that right now, and I would prefer not to. So we are concerned about the privacy, and we're going to be just watching that as we go along.
I think it's a great idea. I'm a big proponent of exercise, and I know that this specific outdoor area has a basketball hoop, something for people to use, and so they could be active in that way. I think it's important. I think a lot of inpatient units really have kind of an institutional kind of cooped up feeling, and to be able to get outside, I think makes you feel a little more human. There's more freedom in that. Realizing, of course, that there's like a giant cage surrounding this part, but still, I think that's important. I think there's no barbed wire. It isn't like it's okay the way it is. It doesn't have a complete prison feel, but unfortunately, I think I don't know that there is really another, a better way to do it.
it does sort of have, I guess, images of like Guantanamo Bay come to mind in some ways. It's like this black cage, and it's kind of like pretty sparse in there. I think it's like a basketball court, but really that's it.
Well, it's funny, I've seen it, but I've never seen anybody in it. So it's particularly depressing just seeing it there. I don't know, I think it might be just as depressing to see people inside it. But I know it's referred to as the cage. I don't know if that's its official name, but that seems to be appropriate. I just can't imagine anybody actually wanting to go out there, even for fresh air, because of the visibility aspect of it and the lack of privacy, and the walls are like 15 feet high. Yeah, it would make a great trellis. If you just grew beautiful vines, flowering vines up the sides, then it would solve the problem of privacy. It would be less, it would feel more like an enclosed forest. It could be actually really nice. I would want to go out there.
The vines would be interesting. You have to be careful not to get them on top, because then, I mean, that could obscure light, and I think having the sun come in is important. Also having them on the side could obscure looking out there. But I mean, if really the point is kind of to decrease feeling like you're in a cage, then that would be part of it anyway. And there's really not, I mean, there's just like a few houses across the street, so it's not like, there's like this beautiful horizon that you're missing out on.
My opinion is that the outdoor environment is currently not very healing, but when I think of what else could be done, given the constraints, I can't come up with any better ideas. I can imagine it looking a lot better once plants are added. It'll be interesting to hear the recommendations of the patients once more of them have tried it out. What do you think?